Good morning, y'all. This is Marlene, Stitch by the Lake. I am in my sewing room. Because I've got these lights on my face, trying to get the shadows off of my face, it's leaving the rest of the whole room in the dark. I hope that, I don't know, it just looks startling to me on the screen. Today is Friday. It is the middle of July, like the 19th, I think. It is very hot here and very humid in Arkansas. Last week, we had like 4 days of rain all day long, coming from the tropical storm that was down on the southern coast. In fact, one day, Tuesday this week, I stayed in my pajamas all day long. I stitched, I organized, I worked in here for a little while. And then after dinner, I took a shower and put on fresh pajamas. I would have done it on Monday as well, but I had a meeting at church, which meant I had to put clothes on. I love pajama days. And when it's raining like that and you know nobody's coming, well, of course, there were deliveries because Amazon comes here nearly every day. But my husband answers the door when that happens. Anyway, the last couple of days have not been like that. It has been very, very hot. I went on Wednesday to Benton, which is about 45 minutes away from me, to meet with my quilting group that I've been meeting with for, I don't know, 15 years or more, something like that. And several of them have moved now from their homes into assisted living or independent living, and traveling is more difficult. We usually meet in each other's homes. So we have decided to just meet twice a year instead of once a month. I'm sad about that because that's the only time I see most of them, and I'm going to miss them a lot. But it's just the way it needs to be right now, because for them to drive on the interstate to get to my house is crazy and dangerous. And when they get here, they can't get up the steps to my house because they're steep. So anyway, that's what we're doing. But it was very, very hot when we went over on Wednesday. We had a wonderful visit, though, just a wonderful visit. Let's see, what am I going to start off with? I'm going to start off with the giveaway from last month, and then I'll talk about some things I have finished and some gifts and StitchCon. I'm going to have another giveaway, and at the end I'll talk about some life stuff. So, I did the random comment generator for the 3 patterns that I was giving away. The first one is this Let Us Rejoice. This was gifted to me by Kathleen Salick, and it is going to Daniela Redlin. Daniela Redlin. Daniela, I'm going to put my email address in the little box below, and if you would just email me, please, with your mail information, I'll get that out to you. The second one is Pennsylvania Fractor. This is a pattern I bought and I stitched. I think I showed it to you in the last video. And this one is going to Tammy McKinney. Tammy McKinney. Tammy, same thing. Email me, honey. And then the third one is Bon Noel. This was gifted to me by Elena and Olivia. And it is going to Tina Salentino. Tina Salentino. Ladies, email me. Let me have some addresses, please. Okay. Now, y'all know I went to StitchCon. It was a last-minute decision. I did not think that I was going to be able to go, and it was really a tough decision because I ended up going. I'll talk about all that later, but I had a wonderful, wonderful time. I had great table mates. I got some wonderful gifts. I'm not going to show those because there were too many, and I feel humbled by the sheer number of the gifts that I got. Special, special people. Stitchers are just so special. And I met some new folks. I got to meet, I'm not going to name names because there were so many, but I was blessed. I was truly blessed by that whole event. I do want to mention one gift that I got, not from StitchCon, but when I got home from StitchCon, I had this sweet card right here from Abby Bellastitch. And obviously I was tired the day I got home and the day I got this gift, but that was not the issue. I was very emotional because I love Abby. She's one of the very first Flosstubers that I ever watched, and she and I have kind of formed a special bond. She's one of the ones I wish I'd like to live in a cul-de-sac, and just pick out stitchers to live all around me. That's what I'd like to do. Abby stitched this beautiful piece and sent it to me. Look at that, y'all. Her stitching is exquisite, first of all. And how she does all that she does with the million children that she has. Just kidding, Abby. But with a new baby. If you haven't seen her videos, you need to go and look. She has beautiful children. Bear, the newest one, is just adorable. And she put her initial and my initial and the year on here. I will treasure this, just as I treasure her. So thank you to Abby, and thank you to the stitching world that generates such a wonderful community. I'm making myself a note, something I don't want to forget. Okay. I don't have anything to show you, but I want to tell you to be sure you go and watch Jen's Stitching Niche. Her latest video came out last night, and she has a new haircut, first of all, that's really cute. And second of all, she stitched something that you will see in there that is a treasure. She stitched a piece that she put the initials of women who have inspired her on different blocks in that piece. And one of the blocks, she put my initial, Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trail, and Nicole from Buckeye Stitcher. The four of us got together last September. What is this, July? Almost a year ago in Little Rock. They all came to Little Rock, and we rented a little B&B kind of a place, a cottage, and had a weekend together. And we had just the most fun. It was rainy all weekend, and we didn't do much. Obviously we went to the Shepherd's Needle, but we went out to eat a couple of times. I made a pot of soup. It was just awesome. And I would just encourage y'all, if you ever get an opportunity to do that with some friends, it is an amazing place where you will find grace and blessings. So thank you, Jen, for putting our initials on there. That was really special. That made me cry too. I don't really cry a whole lot, y'all, but I did. I am going to pass the stash. This is the giveaway I was telling you about. I know that some of you are doing the Jolly July Christmas stitching. I wanted to do that. I tried to do that. Life interfered. Been on the road too much, so I took a different turn and did something else, and tried to stitch some smalls, some patterns that I have that I knew would only take a day or 2 days or even 3 days. But I've managed to do a few of those. One of them is Christmas, but not the rest of them. So anyway, Jolly July. This is one that I have stitched in the past. I Bring Thee Joy. Let's see. Here we go. I Bring Thee Joy by Pineberry Lane. It's a wonderful pattern. It's It's not quite as quick to stitch as you would think it is. It's got a good little bit of stitching, but I loved the white trees. I loved the Santa Claus, so it was a lot of fun. If you would like to have this pattern, then please put in your comment the word joy in some form. Have a joyful day, or joy comes in the morning, or whatever you want to put. Any of those will do. Okay, I have some FOs. First one is from StitchCon, and no, I did not finish this at StitchCon. I've actually finished this yesterday. Our parting gift was a scissor fob, which it was last year, and so I put mine together. There we go. I love the little leather tassel. They gave us the year 2019 charm, and then also the school bus. And I'm sure you've heard the story of the bus. They bought a little school bus and redid it, and it made trips, I think, every hour between the convention center and La Quinta and the shop. So it was wonderful. I've got a pair of scissors already in there that someone gave me, and I'm going to put it on that. Okay, this one, FOs. Still on FOs. This one I need some help with. I started stitching some letters of the first letter of some people's names. I wanted to give these for gifts on throughout the year. I think it was Daylene that did this at So Grateful. I'm pretty sure. But if it wasn't, I don't know. Anyway, evidently I put the pattern away. And y'all, I have no idea what the name of the pattern was, who the designer was, or where I put it. If you happen to know the title of this pattern, or the designer of this pattern, or both, I would love to know, and maybe I can find it again. I do know who I stitched those for, though. Thank goodness. Okay, this little pattern is called the Bee Cottage. It's from the Bee Cottage. It's a bee pincushion designed by Sandra Cox. I have my contacts in. I can't read as good with them. I think it's Vanistall. This is the pattern. And this is what I stitched. Let's see, where am I getting the best light? There we go. This did come with some beads. I chose not to put the beads on this one. I thought that was a little too fancy for this piece. I'm planning to stitch this one again. This one I stitched for my sister. Of course, now I also need to finish it for my sister. But I'm going to stitch one for my oldest daughter as well, because she and her husband keep bees too. That one took a couple of days. Would have gotten it done in one day, but I was helping with my Aunt Joyce when I was working on that, so had a few interruptions. I also, I'm going to the Midwest Stitchers Retreat in Amana, Iowa in October, and I think I probably need to do a little bit more research, but I think we're supposed to do an exchange and stitch a Brenda Gervais pattern, because Brenda Gervais is coming to teach while we're there. So I did one, and I thought, well, if I don't need it to exchange, it's okay, because I love it. This is the pattern that I chose. This is her Valentine sampler, and I chose this one right here because I loved the book and the buttons across there, and I have a lot of buttons. I mean, like, I have really a lot. And so this is the one I stitched. And this is what it looks like. You know, these colors, they show up beautifully when you make them into something, but when you're trying to show them on here. The camera doesn't always pick up the colors as well as you would like for them to. I did use the called for colors with one exception. I think I used 2 different reds instead of 1 red. I believe that's what I did. This is the Christmas one that I told you I did, and it's from this little pattern. My friend Joe sent this to me. It says Robin at the bottom, so I'm assuming that's the designer. Yes, Robin Rowe. Graphic Needle Arts. It's an old pattern. And there are actually 2. There's this one, another, this is Gabriel. And I'm going to stitch him too, but not yet. Oh, there he is. I mean, there she is. Not he. Okay. I changed a couple of colors in this one too. I think maybe it was in a crew and I changed it to a lighter color. I changed her hair color. It was gold and I changed it to the brown that's in the border. No particular reason. Just that I thought it would show up better. When we were at StitchCon, when you made a purchase, you were given this. I don't think this is the pattern, but I doubt very seriously you can tell anything about it from there. And it's just a cat, a black cat. It's from Keepsakes. And so I stitched that one, and I'm going to stitch another one because obviously my sister wants this. Isn't he adorable? They have a cat at Keepsakes, and so they did a lot of cat things. I love this cat. Love this cat. I'm not even crazy about cats. And yes, I've had cats before as pets, but anyway. And my last FO is this pattern from Blackbird Designs, and it is Remember Me. And it's funny because I think Daylene from So Grateful and I kind of think along the same lines. I was watching her latest video, maybe not her latest, one of the last 2, and she had just stitched this one. Now she used a little bit different fabric and colors than I did, but these are fast stitches and they're fun, and I think this would make a great gift, just a little pin pillow. It would be wonderful. All right. Oh, I'm doing good. Just 18 minutes. I have finished 7 of my Stitch 9 challenge pieces, which only leaves me 2. But for some reason, I'm struggling to get to those 2. They're both a little bit larger, and I've not gotten a lot done on them, so they're going to take me a little while, and I've just kind of been postponing them. But maybe sometime in the next couple of weeks I'll do those. One is Brick House Sampler, and I honestly don't remember what the other one. Oh, Summer. Hello Summer, I think is the other one. Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. So right now I still am working on things I can finish kind of quickly. And this pattern, this is Judge Not, which I've shown you this pattern before and you've seen it before, so I didn't bring it with me. And this little guy's the one I'm working on. He's number 5. I'm just using a plain white fabric. In fact, I got an email today from a friend who asked what if I had finished this and what I was working on. So I'm going to email her back in a little while. And this is what I'm doing with it. I don't know how many of these I will stitch because there's several going across. This one right here is particularly difficult for me to see because it is ecru on white. And man, I'm struggling with those stitches. But that's okay. It's almost done. It's really not even ecru. It's lighter than ecru, I think. It's going to show up great, because of the darker stitching, but it's just difficult to see. That's all. And then the other WIP that I'm working on, I have actually just now gotten back to. I had put it away for a short time, and it's Books of the Bible by My Big Toe Designs. I am not taking this off the frame. I am not taking this off the stand. Sorry, y'all, but this is where I am. I have stitched the books all the way down through Acts, and that's down here. And I have started on the upper border, which is a floral border. Now, there are only 3 colors in this pattern. Wonderful, sweet, soft colors. These are, I'm using silks. And this is the red and the green right here. You can see that. And then the brown. I love the way this is coming out. This is my early morning stitch, which is an idea that I got from Vanna, Twisted Stitcher. That hour in the morning when I've moved this piece to my bedroom. I have a recliner in my bedroom. And so I sit in there by myself. I can look out to the left through my windows. I'm right next to a window, and I can see the lake. I can hear the birds. It's absolutely wonderful way to start the day. So that's what I'm working on. When I complete this one, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I have 2 choices in my head. So we'll see how that comes out. All right. I want y'all to see something. I'm going to turn. Oh, I hope I don't make you sick. Can you see right there? That stack, it's not very visible, is it? That whole stack right there. When I came in here to start cleaning my sewing room up a little bit, because you know it's one of those rooms that's a catch-all. Everything I can't find a place for in the rest of the house comes in here until I can decide what to do with it. And so periodically I just have to come in here and get rid of stuff, get things out of here and get them put away. I had no idea that I had that many FOs that needed to be finished. Now, that stack includes some frames that I've picked out for some of them. It includes some, like a little pewter saucer thing that I'm going to make into a pin cushion with one. It included some fabric that's going to be a sack. It's the reindeer one, reindeer feed, that one. So it's not really all FOs, but it's a pretty good size stack. I don't usually let things get that far away from me, but this time I did. So my goal for next week is to do some finishing. My second goal for next week is to make some project bags. I am determined. I really, really love the vinyl front bags, and I know some people don't care for them, but I do. I love them a lot. And I bought several, and that's fine. But after a while, you think, oh, that's a good bit of money I could be spending on patterns. So I've tried to make them. I've shown y'all a couple that I've made that just are not, certainly not very good. They're okay. They work. So I'm going to work on that this next week. I'm going to try to do a few more of the vinyl front bags. And then my third goal is to pick up one of my Stitch 9 challenge pieces, and it's probably going to be Brick House Sampler, and get to work on that. I would like to get that 8th piece done. I don't know if there was a timeline on that. I absolutely love the idea of having the Stitch 9 challenge because it has kept me on target with some of mine. And I've gotten things done that I didn't expect to have done this year. So I'm grateful that Michelle Rudy, Farm Girl, did that. Very grateful. Another thing I wanted to tell y'all, if you have not seen Diana at Kismet Stitching, I don't think that's exactly the name of her channel. It is Kismet? I don't know, but Kismet Stitching, if you put that in, you'll find it. She designed a new little pattern that she's giving away and suggesting that they be exchanged with people you'd like to send them to. I think it's a wonderful idea. I love her little saying. It is "You I Like" from a song by Mr. Rogers. She has that free for download on her video, so y'all go look at that. She has the most peaceful, calm voice. I could just listen to her all day long. She's a sweetheart. Okay, I think that is all of the stitching stuff I have. I'm going to the Shepherd's Needle on Tuesday. You know, it's in Little Rock. It's an hour's drive for me, but I have a dentist appointment. I make them on Tuesday on purpose because there are other stitchers who come in to stitch that day, and I like seeing whoever's there. So I'm going to run in. I did have Ann kit up something for me, a pattern, and had it kitted up for me, and pre-ordered a couple of patterns that won't be there yet. I'm not sure that I need anything else, but I always come home with something else. I've been organizing my fabric. I spent a couple of hours last night going through and actually with some of my scraps finding the stitch count on them and writing that on the selvage on the edge and sorting those. I have my fabric in a 3-tiered basket, and I have one more of those baskets to go, and I'm pretty sure it's all Aida cloth. So it's easier for me to look at and tell what the count is. So I'm going to work on that today. And that's it. That's all my plans. That's all I've got. For those of you who have asked about Terry, my brother, they are doing well. The house has been gutted. They lost their everything in the flood. All their furniture, everything. They had gotten a few clothes out. But some churches have come in and helped with that. It's been gutted down to the studs. The mold stuff has been put out. Now people are coming in to help them start rebuilding. Terry was going to start. I haven't talked to him since Tuesday. And he was getting ready to start putting the insulation up in the master bedroom, and someone was coming to start the tile in the bathroom. So they're going to do that area first, and hopefully at that point they can at least move out of the camper and into the bedroom to sleep at night. They'll be much more comfortable, I'm sure, if they can do that. They can still cook in the camper when they need to. They did go and buy a new crock pot, he told me, because that's the easiest way for them to cook right now. And they like to do that. So, you know, they're doing fine. I have gathered up a lot of furniture. My friend Jo moved, and she gave me whatever she wasn't taking, which was a lot, because she downsized a lot. And I have it in storage here, so as soon as I can gather up my son-in-law and my grandson and whoever I can get to help, we will get that out of storage and take it to them. They do have a place to put it that's dry and locked up. And I know they need to see what's there, so they will be able to see what else they need. But they're doing good. I have been to Jefferson City, Missouri 3 times in the last 6 weeks, I guess. That's where my sister lives. I love going to see her. But I've also been there because Aunt Joyce has not been well. She was in the hospital the 1st of June. Had a bad exacerbation of her COPD, and we were able to bring her home from the hospital with hospice. We have some private sitters coming in the daytime during the week for a 5-hour span to give Sherry a break. And I went up a couple of times to stay. Well, I went and stayed in the hospital with Sherry, and I alternated there. And then I went back a couple of times because she was getting breathing treatments every 4 hours around the clock. And so I went up to take the night shift a couple of times to give them a break. They've been able to stretch those breathing treatments out a little bit longer, so it's not quite as difficult now. It's still a long journey, so we covet your prayers for Joyce and for Sherry and Mike and for all of us. Let's see, what else is going on? My husband is out mowing in this heat. I don't like it, but he has to do it. I kept thinking he would come around the corner here and go right past my window and y'all wouldn't be able to hear me, but I guess he must be mowing in the back. I can hear that mower in the distance. So, I think that's all I've got, y'all. I'm looking forward to the fall, as I'm sure most of y'all are. I'm looking forward to a little bit more stitching than I've gotten done in the last month. Although I really feel like I've been pretty good. Just a lot of smalls. But that's okay. Those are fun. Those are fun. So, I hope that you have a good weekend coming up and that you are able to get lots of stitching done. See you soon. Bye-bye.